Welcome. This is Zangler, the Tesla Semi Advocate, bringing you the first Giga Semi drone flight in almost a month. I've been out of town on very important dog sitting duty for my daughter up in Seattle, and it's good to be back. So this is October 7th, about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and we're going to do a circumnavigation around the Giga Semi factory and see what's new. I can tell you that one of the drivers for the giant push-pull track rig that brought a couple of the largest stamping presses informed me that the last delivery, they were somehow able to not use that specialty delivery technique, and were able to put the last of the stamping press pieces of equipment on normal wide load semi trailers. One of the first things I wanted to look at was have they completed this thing that I think is a safety ramp based on the depth of that, but I can't imagine why they haven't filled it with sand yet. But everything in its due course. There's a small chance that that's just going to be there's almost very little chance in my mind that that is just where they're going to park a semi for show and tell purposes as a decoration. You can't really see it from the road. I don't see that it would serve any purpose. It looks to me like it's an escape route for Tesla semis on the test track. And we will see some progress on the Tesla semi test track. In general, the biggest takeaway from today's flight is there is a ton of production semi equipment, assembly line equipment scattered all around the factory. We'll see evidence of that as we circumnavigate the factory. And what's going on here is they're putting in divider posts. They're using this ram technique. You can't hear it, but it's kind of like pile driving these posts into the ground to create a separation barrier between the outbound and inbound Tesla semi track, the Tesla semi test track. I change lens so that I can zoom in on the activity here. So I imagine they will attach guardrails to these posts that they're putting in. And those may be the guardrails or not. If you study that right there, there's a lot of curves and straight pieces. And time will tell whether or not those go to those guardrail posts or if that is equipment that goes inside the factory. One of the next things I'm super curious about, and you may be too, is the progress of the megacharger for the semis. And not as much progress as I would have thought in over 2 weeks, actually more like 3 weeks since my last drone flight. You can see that a small amount of progress has been made, but I know for a fact that the supercharger team can, once the infrastructure is in place, if they get the equipment, they can finish that off really quick. So who knows what's going on here? Safe to say that it's not needed, but I am a little bit surprised that there's not been more progress here. Those things right there, I've been told, are to run wiring throughout the factory, and to the different pieces of assembly equipment, robots, and such. Now, I thought maybe these were, you tell me, what do you think? Are these megachargers or anything to do with the megacharger? Or are they more likely pieces of equipment that will go inside the factory? And then as we travel to the south, you'll see these two pieces of equipment. Once again, potentially they are cabinets for the megacharger, but they look more to me like they are pieces of equipment that will go inside the factory. They do look like electrical devices, cabinets, but we sell, again, we'll see. Time will tell. Those don't look anything like any cabinet for a supercharger or a megacharger that I've seen. And again, if you recognize these pieces of equipment, I even looked up Petra, P-E-T-R-A, which is what that covering said with respect to electrical equipment, and I didn't get any hits. We are on the eastern perimeter of the building, in case you don't know. I sometimes narrate the video for my longtime viewers, assuming they know they have the background and they've been watching all along, and I have to remind myself that some of you may be new viewers. But here is an area with a huge amount of assembly equipment stacked outside. A lot of these those blue crates close to the building were there when I last flew, but then all this gray and blue and orange packaging is newer. But all of that is assembly equipment. It's all coated, but I have no idea what it could be, what exactly it is used for. Again, if you have any clue based upon that numbering system, all of the viewers and myself would appreciate it. So we are now at the southeast corner of the building, and we are just pulling back a little bit to get a little look around, give you some perspective of where we are, and then we're going to move up the southern perimeter of the building. The above the main entrance to Giga Semi. Again, this outstanding question is that a stylized semi with trailer? The glass area and many of the gray branding on the building looks like that and is either a Tesla Semi, most likely, or potentially a robo-van. Most of the paving on the perimeter of the building has been completed. Take a look at the big dog Tesla Semi that's been standing guard over this construction site for many months. I would speculate that vehicle is not operable. It probably doesn't have batteries in it, and is therefore parked here and rather than being used. I've always wondered what this area with the dirt piles is eventually going to be used for, if it does have a purpose. perhaps more warehouse on wheels, but also seems like it would be a excellent location to put in a battery of megapacks. I cannot imagine that this factory will not have a supply of megapacks. Those orange things in the middle, in the center of the screen, they're kind of small right now. Those were the gantry crane that is used to unload heavy pieces of equipment. And like I mentioned earlier, I believe most or all of the heavy equipment that have been stored in Texas has been delivered. This is a look in the BFD, the big freaking door. And if you stop and study it, you can kind of make out a stamping press. And I think, as per the title of this video, that the factory construction is pressing on. Now we're coming over to the northwest corner of the building, and we're going to do a fly around over this this brand new Milan twin building. It's the first of the Milan twin building, and the reason I think it's interesting to cover from a Tesla perspective is there's a decent chance that this will be leased by Tesla and used as part of the Tesla semi production and or LFP battery production. So I just want to do a quick circumnavigation around it. This building, because it is a cookie cutter sort of fulfillment building, similar to many of them on Electric Avenue and in this area, they were able to build this very quickly. And it's not nearly the size, I don't know, maybe it's half the size of Giga Semi, but it's uniquely qualified to be leased by Tesla for a variety of potential purposes, including storing supplier parts, although in the past they've used warehouse on wheels strategy for that, more LFP battery production. The Tesla Energy is one of the stronger segments of the Tesla ecosystem. I believe the Tesla Semi will join it, and frankly, you know, I've never quite shared my opinion, but I am disappointed that Tesla chose to delay and or not build an actual compact, high volume vehicle. I do think that was a calculated mistake. I believe that it would have been an excellent bridge to when FSD does become unsupervised, and I think it was a missed opportunity personally. But it doesn't affect my incredible enthusiasm for the Tesla Semi program, which is why I continue to cover it. And I hope you continue to support me in that coverage, but I am not a Tesla 100% 100% agree with every single decision that's been made. Here is the drone landing at my world's fastest drone support vehicle, Tesla Model S Plaid Hardware 3. And this is the Tesla Semi Advocate signing off and thanking you for your support.